Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've posted something, but I wanted to start setting up a little series about some of these new Frontier Pursuit roles that we've had since it's been out for a few months and I've been able to play around with the different roles and kind of get a sense of what each is like. And so I first wanted to start off with the Trader, arguably my favorite role added into Red Dead Online. And it was the first that I was able to rank up to rank 20. And it mainly consists of hunting and materials and getting supplies for crypts, and then you selling those supplies on delivery missions to make a pretty sizable profit. For those of you that were GTA players, it's the role that's most similar to GTA Online businesses, where it tends to consist of accruing supplies and letting them build up and until you get to a point where you can then go on a sell mission. So today I want to go over what I think are some of the pros, some of the cons, and some tips I've picked up along the way in my adventures as a trader in Red Dead Online. So starting off with the pros, one of the things I really like about the trader role is that it's, in my opinion, the easiest to rank up within the role, but it also does a great job of helping you rank up your character in terms of general XP. So the way the business works is there are two different currencies you have to build up in order to turn your product into goods. You have to get materials through hunting and supplies through supply missions or supply orders, which Crypts then takes and turns into goods. And so first off, with materials, those you can only get through hunting, which he accepts carcasses, pelts, teeth, certain body parts, but no meat or skinned carcasses. First off, when you're out in the world hunting to get those materials, you get your general XP by hunting animals, ranging anywhere from 5 to 15 each time. And then when you take those in to donate to Crypts, you then are going to get 5 XP for every item you donate just in terms of general XP, and 6 role XP to help rank up your trader role. So even though you don't get the role XP for hunting to begin with, you still get it for turning it in, and it's still already giving you sizable XP based on how many items you donate. The next XP payout you get comes on supply missions, which these are much higher than what you get from hunting. So with the supplies, you can only get them through either supply orders or resupply missions, which are pretty quick, anywhere from 5 to 10 minute missions where you have to go out and either hunt some animals for someone nearby to give you supplies, or steal it from other non-player traders, or steal it from bandits, or ambush some people who are traveling with some. It's a little one-off mission you run for Crypts, and at the end of it, you get a 600 XP, which help you rank up. Also, within the trader role, considering that each level is only 2,000 XP, in order to rank up as a trader, it goes a long way towards helping you with that. And then the third major payout, the XP payout you get, comes from the sell missions themselves, which are generally can sometimes be over 1,000 XP. So you can level up pretty quickly thanks to those, depending on whether you do a local or distant mission. The other strong pro that comes with the trader role is that it pays out pretty well from a money standpoint. Now, granted, it's probably not as profitable as the collector, which we'll touch on there in terms of how much money you can make in a given hour, but it still comes with, at the end of the day, you can make either a $500 or $625 delivery based on how many goods you grow. It's pretty similar to the CEO crates in GTA Online in that there's a scaled payout based on how many goods you sell. So if you sell anywhere from 1 to 25 goods, they're worth $2. 26 to 50, they're worth $3. Then 51 to 99, they're worth $4 a good. But then once you get that 100th good, you can sell it for $5 a piece. And so the way everything works too, one of the other reasons why I think it's good for both ranking up and money is because with the way the business works, it takes Crypts 50 minutes to make 25 supplies, at which point you'll then have to go and run a resupply mission. So in order to sell a full 100, to make a full 100 good sell, you'd have to run 4 resupply missions and have enough materials loaded in, or have enough materials donated in order to create those goods. So it's one of those, if you fill up your materials all the way and then run that resupply mission for Crypts, then you have 50 minutes to go do other things to make other money as a bounty hunter or go find collectibles before you have to worry about coming back and resupplying. And so it takes a little over 3.5 hours, or a little around 3.5 hours to create a full batch of 100 goods. But the beauty of it is, you can still be making money and gaining XP doing other things, come back to this and have a nice reward waiting for you. And so now obviously too, with the update came a whole bunch of new items that were added in the form of role-specific unlocks that you could get, whether it's new types of horses, some weapons, some new outfits, but there are a few key ones that I think are worth pointing out. The first one being the stew pot, which granted, this one isn't necessarily something you need. It's cool to have at your camp. It looks cool, and also too gives you the opportunity to create stews, which you can knock off in daily challenges. There's also an award for making different stew recipes, and the good thing it has an even greater effect than some of the meats do when you eat them, so it can really help you fortify your cores, which can be useful sometimes. The next thing too, I would say probably 2 very important things to unlock in regards to the trader business as a whole would be the medium and large delivery wagons. Goods prices scale the more that you have. These will let you take on more than just a 25 good sale that the initial wagon you get will let you do. So this is when you can start with the medium wagon, you can make sales of up to 50 goods, and the large wagon you can get up to 100, which in turn lets you get more money. The other tip or other thing I noticed too with regarding sell missions, you have the option to do a local sale or a distant sale, and difference being they put a 25% kicker on the distant sale. So a $50 sale, a $50 local sale for 25 goods becomes $62.50 if you go distant, or the $500 local sale for 100 goods becomes $625. So there obviously is a profit reason to go for the distant sale, especially with the larger deliveries. But lately I've found that I don't want to say people are becoming, or that there are griefers that start coming after you, but I've noticed people get more aggressive when you do a distance sale because you appear as a blip on everyone's map, whereas you stay hidden when you do a local sale. As a solo player, getting attacked makes it very difficult because sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 people who will ride up on you and try to steal your wagon. I've had some times where I've been able to fight them off, but most of the time I do not, and end up putting in all that work and 3.5 hours down the tubes because some people decided to steal it. So I've found lately it's just better to try to sell local, but obviously if you have a posse or a group of people to sell with, then by all means go for it. I think given the economy in Red Dead Online as far as how to make money, $125 is nothing to scoff at. So if you have the protection, you can definitely go for distant, but if you're riding on your own, I'd say you're probably best off sticking with the local sale. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is just some of the quick, not really complaints that I have, or issues for that matter, but just some things I noticed that I was hoping Rockstar would handle a little differently regarding the trader role. And this kind of also applies to all the roles really, but so the first thing really being the role levels, and to that degree the Outlaw Pass levels. I really appreciate the fact that they made it so that you had to rank up, and I thought it was cool that you could really see your business grow the more time you put into it. The only thing I wouldn't even say I was disappointed in, but was just surprised by, given the way that everything else is structured in the game, that it was a flat 2,000 XP for every level. So to go from a level 1 trader to level 2 trader, or to go from a level 19 to 20 trader, it was only 2,000 roll XP in order to level up, which, while not a problem, and as someone who doesn't play every day, it still took me a few weeks to level up, which was great, and something I was really excited about. But at the same time, I was just shocked that it wasn't, like the first, levels 1 through 5, you needed 2,000 XP to level up, or, whereas levels 6 through 10 then needed 3,000, 10 through 15 needed 4,000, and onward. I was just surprised that they didn't have that scale up, so that it took a little longer to rank up at the higher levels, only because it would have required you to really kind of work at it a little bit more, which would have been cool. But at the end of the day, it's not a major complaint on my end. It wasn't something I was angry about at all. I was glad to be able to rank up relatively quickly. On the flip side, I was surprised to see how extreme some of the awards are for each role. For example, having to run 1,000 resupply missions before you can reset your resupply or your resupply mission award, and having to sell 5,000 goods as opposed to the usual 1,000. Not that, again, not the goods one isn't that bad, but I was just surprised. Some of these numbers just are very, very high, and that applies to other roles too, like the bounty hunter having to bring in 1,000 live bounties and 1,000 dead bounties. I just thought those are going to be challenges, and you're really going to have to grind it out in order to get there. But those were just some of those weren't necessarily issues, just some things that I wish they kind of rethought a bit, like maybe taking it down to 100 resupply missions, or somewhere in that range, in order to when you can then reset the award instead of going all the way up to 1,000. But yeah, so with that, that wraps up today's video. Let me know what you think. Feel free to leave a like or comment, and if you want to, feel free to subscribe. And hopefully coming up, I'll have video on the bounty hunter and collector, and we've also got the moonshiner coming out today, so hopefully I can pull something together in time for the holidays for that. So once again, thanks everyone, and have a great day.